All right, this is part 2 of lesson 8.6, and we're going to pick up with guided practice number 3 about carpenter ants. It says the Museum of Natural History is making a scale model of a carpenter ant, and the scale used is 12.5 centimeters to 1 millimeter. Now, interestingly, think about a carpenter ant and a model of one. Which one's going to be larger? So hopefully you realize that the model is still on the top, even though that's much larger, because a real ant is usually measured in, whoops, I almost put the number down here, in millimeters. Okay, so just pointing that out for you. All right, so there's our scale, and it says if the actual length of the ant is 6.4 millimeters, so that's going to go on the bottom where the real creature is. Then we have to figure out what the length of the model is. So again, we just need to cross multiply, and we would get x equals the product of 12.5 to 6.4 and 6.4. And when you multiply that out, you should get 80 centimeters. So that one is a pretty simple example for guided practice. All right, let's look at example 3 on page 432. First, let me clear this off of my screen. All right, example 3. A museum is creating a full-size T-Rex from a model. The model is 40 inches in length from nose to tail, and the resulting dinosaur will be 40 feet. So we're looking at the ratio of length in the model to length in the actual dinosaur, okay? So the model is 40 inches in length, and the resulting dinosaur would be 40 feet in length. Okay, so this one is inches, it's the model, this one is feet. And the question is, what is the model scale? So we could just quick look at the solution here, but let's go back because I want you to know where to look. And because this is the second of 2 videos, and it's actually about 48 hours for me since I made the first one. So and it might be a few hours before you get to problems where you have to know about scale. So know where to go back in the book. It tells us that the scale on page 430, that the scale on a scale drawing tells how the drawing's dimensions and the actual dimensions are related. And the scale 1 inch to 12 feet means that 1 inch in the floor plan represents the actual distance of 12 feet. All right, does that really answer our question? No. So let's look over at scale models on 431. And it says that a scale model is a model of an object in which the dimensions are in proportion to the actual dimensions of the object. So that's what we showed here. We said the dimensions of the model are given in proportion to the dimensions of the actual object, okay? And then it's often given as a ratio with or without units, okay? So what is this really asking us? What is the model scale? Well, we need to change it so that a scale model would show both of these units as the same. So let's make them both inches, okay? Which means we don't have to change our model. It's still 40 inches. And how many inches is 40 feet? Well, we just need to do 12 times 40 for 12 inches per foot. All right? And we should end up with 480 inches, and that can be reduced to 1 to 12. All right. Interestingly, because these are the same, they're both inches, you don't have to write them. And they showed you that on page 431. You can have a scale without units as long as the units are the same. And you can see that worked out in example 3. So let's go down. I want you to try example 4 by yourself. I'm just going to take a pause here while I clear my screen off, and you try to figure it out. What the model scale would be if it was 80 inches in length. So go. Okay, so hopefully you read through that and been able to figure it out. A little tricky. I will go over it with you now. They're telling us that now the model is only 80 inches in length. The real length of the dinosaur did not change, so that's still 40 feet. Okay, and then you're going to do the same thing that we did in example 3. You're going to convert the real length to inches, and we found that 40 times 12 was 480. All right. Then we just reduce it. 80 actually goes into 480 evenly 6 times. And so our scale becomes 1 to 6. For every one whatever unit, there will be 6 in the real T-Rex. All right. I cannot see your homework at this time. I'm going to pause the video for just a second. Okay, I've pulled up your homework, and you are supposed to do problems 1 through 9 and 17 to 23, and then a few more, 29 and 33 as well. And also, let me just point out again, this is written in RenWeb, but as long as you're at home, unless I tell you otherwise, only do the odds, because I'm not grading your homework. You need to have your co-teacher, mom or dad or a tutor, grade. But you can also check when you get done. I'm looking in the back and making sure the answers are there. So I'm only assigning odd numbers and the ones that are in the back of the book. All right, so let me clear this off, and I will do some of the evens to help you, because I've got about 6 minutes before this this video ends. So let's look at we'll do number 6, because you have to do 3 and 5 in that section. So number 6 on page 432, if you want to pause the video and try to do it on your own and then come back, you can see if you get the correct answer, but I am going to work it out here. So it says the scale on a floor plan is 1 inch to 15 feet. Again, our model to our actual, okay? And we're supposed to match the distance on the floor plan with actual distance. So for number 6, we have that in the floor plan, it's 1.6 inches. And so what would that be in the actual house or whatever we're doing? Okay, so we put an X down there. And then when we cross multiply, we'll get X on the one side, and we just need to multiply 15 times 1.6. And that gives us 240. But we have this decimal point here, so I need to bring it down. And that makes X equal 24 feet. And you will see that that is choice C, and that is the answer. So that's how you do that section. Let me clear this off. And I will now work out number 10, because you have to do 7 and 9. So again, if you want to pause it and then come back to see how it's done. It says the scale on a map is 1 centimeter to 25 miles. Find the actual distance in miles for the given length on the map. We're doing number 10. The given length on the map is 8.7 centimeters. So how far would that be in real time? That gives us x when we cross multiply. And then this side, again, we're just doing multiplication. So that would give us, Even teachers make mistakes. You know I make mistakes all the time, right? I bet you miss seeing me make mistakes on the board and getting extra credit when you catch me. Sorry, can't do that via video. All right, I'm talking and not doing work. That never works well, right? So I'm taking a guess. Y'all are probably watching me thinking, no, that's wrong. It is not wrong. I can see because I have the answer key. Number 10 is 217.5 miles. All right, before I go on, if I have time, I do want to talk a little bit about your scale drawing that you're completing. That was mentioned, I believe, on last Friday's RenWeb, and it also is mentioned on Monday's RenWeb where it says you only have 11 problems for homework, so you can use the rest of your math time today to work on your scale drawing. I'm going to go back to Friday's lesson plans and read to you about the scale model, which is due on Friday of this week. You can pick anything you want, basically. I try to pick from the different subjects that we've been talking about. You can do something from your home. You can do your bedroom. You can do your whole house. You can do your kitchen, any of those things. If you want to move away from just doing something at home, I also gave you the examples of the Punic Wars that we just finished talking about or studying about in history. Or you might look up a model of or maybe plans for the Hubble telescope or one that Herschel developed and do a scale drawing of that. We're also about to get into the solar system and the planets. If you want to do a drawing of that to scale, that's the important part. I don't really care what you do. You pick something that is interesting to you. What I'm really going to be looking for is, did you get the scale correct? So if you pick the solar system, and remember, we already did a little bit of a solar system model when we had that crazy cut and paste right on the last Friday that we were together, and we were putting those planets on the string right under the sun. That was supposed to be to scale. If you want to go back and pull those numbers out of your notebook and maybe finish that but have it correct so that I can tell that you measured out the scale. You already have the math done. You could just finish that. You can put that into some kind of drawing. It doesn't matter. I just want you to practice using scale factors, okay? So that's a note on that. I think I have time for one more problem. So let me clear this off. I only have about a minute, so I think I'm kind of afraid to get into something new. I tell you what, if you have trouble with any of the problems that I assigned, shoot me an email. I'll try to figure out how I can help you best. Maybe I'll make another short video or send you a picture. Again, let me tell you, I miss y'all so much. I appreciate all this work that you're doing at home, and I certainly appreciate your mothers and fathers. Be patient with them. Be flexible with the schedules that you have at home, and be obedient and respectful to them. I love you all. I'm praying for you every day. Goodbye.